What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode where we're going to talk about the hack of Nvidia. This is a doozy. We're going to talk specifically about what data was leaked, how the leaked data can affect you, what you need to pay attention to if you use their products or maybe do business with them, and we're going to explore how they might have been hacked. I have a theory. You got to wait till the end to see what it is. Now, I hope you watch the full episode, but if not, you can now skip directly to my insights at the end of the episode, right from the timeline below. For the rest of you, let's go through the story together and see what we can learn.
Oh, drat these computers. They're so naughty and so complex. I could pinch them.
A ransomware group calling itself Lapsus, which I am sure you have heard of, first claimed a couple of weeks ago that it had hacked into Nvidia's corporate network, stolen more than 1 terabyte of data. Included in the theft, the group claims, are schematics and source code for drivers and firmware of Nvidia products. A relative newcomer to the ransomware scene, Lapsus has already published one tranche of leaked files, which, among other things, included the usernames and cryptographic hashes for 71,335 of the chipmaker's employees, even though records seem to indicate they only have about 20,000 employees. The group then went on to make the highly unusual demand remove a feature known as LHR, short for light hash rate, or see the further leaking of stolen data. A quote from the Lapsus group: "We decided to help the mining and gaming community," Lapsus members wrote in broken English. "We want Nvidia to push an update for all 30 series firmware that remove every LHR limitations, otherwise we will leak HW folder. If they remove the LHR, we'll forget about the HW folder. It's a big folder. We both know LHR impact mining and gaming. Congratulations, you're doing a great job by wanting to learn about the hack of the Nvidia Corporation. I appreciate your support by watching my episode about it. If you're new to my channel and have not already, please consider subscribing to my channel and smashing the bell to be notified when I upload new episodes where I give you insights into the newest important cybersecurity news stories like this one. With my insights, you can be better prepared to protect your company, your family, and yourself against these and other cyber attacks. So hit the subscribe button now and let's continue to learn about this story together. Nvidia introduced LHR in February 2021 with the launch of its GeForce RTX 3060 models. 3 months later, the company brought LHR to its GeForce RTX 3080, 3070, and 3060 Ti graphics cards. The reason? To make the cards less desirable to people mining Ethereum and possibly other types of cryptocurrencies. In recent years, the soaring prices of cryptocurrencies have created enormous demand for the cards because the cards are generally much faster and more efficient in performing the intensive computations required during the mining process. LHR works by looking for specific attributes of the Ethereum mining algorithm. When one of those attributes is found, LHR limits the hash rate, which dictates mining efficiency by around 50%. We designed GeForce GPUs for gamers, and gamers are demanding for more, or clamoring for more, Nvidia officials wrote when unveiling LHR. Lapsus further modified its demand. In addition to the removal of LHR, now the group also wants Nvidia to commit to making its GPU drivers completely open source. If Nvidia does not comply, Lapsus says the company can expect to see a new leak that would include the complete silicon, graphics, and computer chipset files for all its recent GPUs. On February 23, 2022, Nvidia became aware of a cybersecurity incident which impacted IT resources, said the company. Shortly after discovering the incident, we further hardened our network, engaged cybersecurity incident response experts, and notified law enforcement. We have no evidence of ransomware being deployed on the Nvidia environment or that this is related to the Russia-Ukraine conflict. However, we are aware that the threat actor took employee credentials and some Nvidia proprietary information from our systems and has begun leaking it online. Our team is working to analyze that information. We do not anticipate any disruption to our business or our ability to serve our customers as a result of the incident. So, what can we learn? Well, Nvidia is a monster company worth $550 billion in terms of its market cap, and they made $26.941 billion in revenues in just the last year. Now, Nvidia did not just get hacked a little bit, they got big time hacked. They did not just get hacked big time, they got hacked by allegedly a bunch of teenagers. These alleged teenage hacker masterminds behind Lapsus got their hands on proprietary information, schematics, complete silicon graphics and chipset files, plus software signing certificates. Yes, the stolen info included some of the cryptographic certificates that Nvidia uses to sign its own software, so users can verify that drivers they install for their GPUs are authentic Nvidia. Actually, the user doesn't verify it himself. It's not like he's opening up a file and reading the ones and zeros. The operating system is doing it. You might have actually seen this if you've ever installed some unknown piece of software and Windows gives you that alert and you have to click a link and they have to click on trust this software and it'll open it. Or on Mac, it says the developer cannot be verified, so you have to right click and then click open to bypass the security. Now those alerts you see show up when a developer cannot be verified or if a piece of software is not signed with a legitimate software signing certificate. Now, Bleepy Computer points out hackers are already using those pilfered Nvidia legitimate software signing certificates to mask a variety of malware. This means cyber attackers can make malicious programs appear like legitimate Nvidia software. And even though these may be older or sometimes expired certificates, Windows will still load drivers signed with them. Multiple types of malware have already been spotted masking themselves with these seemingly valid certificates, including a remote access Trojan called Quasar. So this is not theory, this is not a what if, this is not it could be, this is what is really happening out there in the wild. Now, in 2019, Stratosphere Labs analyzed Quasar and found, without naming a culprit, Russia, that it had been used in past cyber attacks against the Ukraine. And then Microsoft VP of OS Security and Enterprise, named David Weston, jumped into the conversation and he tweeted that IT admins can configure defenses against the disguised malware. But these are NVIDIA GPUs. These are for gamers. These are not necessarily used all the time for IT admins, so the average user, a gamer, most likely doesn't have the knowledge to do that. So they need to be informed, they need to be educated, and they need to be on their guard. Now that is a big mess, and it's only covering one small sliver of data leaked. The company's internal systems, including email, had been completely compromised, according to the company. Meaning, the roughly 20,000 employees, I think is what they really have on file, those 20,000 employees' data are at risk, and those people are at risk for anything up to phishing scams and ransomware. Plus, if the email systems themselves were completely compromised, then any partners or any other company they do business with is also at risk. You can see BEC scams happening all over the place. So NVIDIA, its partners, and anybody they do business with needs to immediately implement heightened protocols for payment to partners or companies they do business with. A BEC scam could bilk NVIDIA or any of its partners out of millions, if not tens of millions, if any person responsible for, say, accounting slips up and wires 10 million here, 100 million there, some new foreign bank account because partner X claims to have made a change to their bank account. For that matter, any company, including yours, should have specific protocols in place that cover any instance of a change in payment for recipient banks for any partner or company they do business with. This can include calling up the partner directly and verbally verifying the request. Hello, Bob, this is Jane. We just got a request for you to change your bank account. Is this real? Or maybe a physical meeting between the parties. You go to their office and you shake their hand with some kind of secret handshake, and that means yes, the bank account change request is legitimate. So now we have covered two pieces of leaked data. Now these are bad enough in today's fast-paced, ransomware-filled world, but we're not even done. The fact that silicon, graphics, and chipset files and schematics can be leaked can devastate the core business of a NVIDIA by giving their competition access to all of NVIDIA's top secret technology. The hack could help China's AI and GPU rivals catch up with NVIDIA, according to the Center for Security and Emerging Technology, known as CSET. Now, in case you don't know them, CSET is a policy research organization within Georgetown University's Walsh School of Foreign Service. They study this stuff and definitely know more than I do about it. So they say it's a big deal. I trust in their many years of research. Yes, mostly because I don't have the time to do the research myself. Now, these are definite threats to Nvidia's business and employees, but there's still, on top of all of that, something else going on here. In addition to demanding something like, I think it was $1 million to not leak the data, the hackers had some unusual demands that are not seen in normal hacker day-to-day business. The hackers specifically demanded that Nvidia remove the hash rate limit from their GPUs and that they open source some of their technology, like their drivers. If they don't, then apparently the hackers are going to leak the data and make this driver's software, well, I guess forced open source anyway. Everybody's going to have it. So apparently, what happened was Nvidia built their newest GPUs for gamers. And gamers demanded so many that there was, and is, probably a shortage. Well, it turns out that it wasn't just gamers. The GPUs were so good that crypto miners were buying them up, making the supply even thinner. So in order to deter miners from using their GPUs and have enough for, say, gamer demand, Nvidia decided to mess with the hash rate of their newest GPUs to throttle them. What they do is they look for certain signatures of, for example, Ethereum mining. When it's found, it throttles the hash rate, thereby making the GPU effectively inefficient for mining, or inefficient in terms of cost for mining. They actually throttle it by 50%. Now this got many people upset, apparently including Lapsus. These are new twists to the modus operandi of how these hacker groups could work. It's not a far-fetched concept to have other hacker groups start doing this. What if demands started popping up to direct software companies to make changes that certain groups find intrusive or against the better good? Where groups like Anonymous, as example, hack and steal company secrets and threaten to leak them if the company does not change their ways or open source their technology. What if, for example, Twitter got hacked by some pro-Trump hacker group and were forced to reinstate his account? Doesn't seem that bad. Or TikTok, where your kids, or maybe you, are dumping videos about who knows what. What if TikTok is forced to do something shady, putting your kids or your online safety at risk? Or what if Microsoft got hacked and was forced to put in a backdoor by some hacker group secretly working for the US government? Well, secretly, I mean, it has been proven that a bunch of software has already done that, but that's a story for a different day. So anything is possible, and I think we need to keep an eye on this potential strategy. I mean, obviously, we first need to do everything we can to protect our networks so that we don't fall victim to any type of hacker, but still, we need to keep an eye on this because the companies that do get hit with these demands, they can have an adverse effect on us, our families, our kids, or our companies. So, how do you actually think that Nvidia got hacked? Now, I have a theory. I said it in the beginning of the episode, and here it comes. I haven't proved it yet, mostly because I'm just unwilling to pay for those services that will tell you how many customers or who the customers are for a specific company. But my theory is Okta. If you haven't heard, Okta, an enterprise-proven identity solution provider, got hacked months ago. They stayed hush-hush about it. They didn't tell really anyone until the data itself got leaked. Who uses Okta? Well, Amazon uses their Okta's cloud platform. Apple uses Okta. CVS Pharmacy, McKesson Corporate Cigna Corporation, 1-800-Flowers, and about 4,615 other companies. But who are those 4,615 other companies? My theory is that Nvidia is one of them. And when Lapsus hacked Okta and reset multi-factor authentication credentials for some of Okta's clients, Nvidia was one of them. This allowed Lapsus to use legitimate credentials and essentially add their devices to Nvidia's network to access various Nvidia systems and get so deep into that $550 billion company's network without really raising any red flags. And they were able to rip out a terabyte's worth of data, including the top secret recipe to Nvidia's success. Now, Okta is just now coming out and giving more details, saying they goofed and should have, made public statements sooner and most likely warned their customers of this huge hack sooner. Now, I am going to put out an episode on the Okta hack, and I think that once you watch that episode, if you don't already, then you just might agree with my theory. In the end, only time and public disclosure by both Nvidia and With Okta. That, I say thanks again for watching. Don't forget to share and subscribe if you haven't already, and smash the bell if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.